Megan, Tuesday the 2nd of October 2012. Morning. It's going to rain soon. I can feel it coming. My teeth are chattering in my head, the tips of my fingers are white with a tinge of blue. I'm not going inside. I like it out here. It's cathartic, cleansing, like an ice bath. Scott will come and haul me inside soon anyway. He'll wrap me in blankets, like a child. I had a panic attack on the way home last night. There was a motorbike, revving its engine over and over and over, and a red car driving slowly past, like a curb crawler, and two women with buggies blocking my path. I couldn't get past them on the pavement, so I went into the street and was almost hit by a car coming in the opposite direction, which I hadn't even seen. The driver leaned on the horn and yelled something at me. I couldn't catch my breath. My heart was racing. I felt that lurch in my stomach, like when you've taken a pill and you're just about to come up. That punch of adrenaline that makes you feel sick and excited and scared all at once. I ran home and through the house and down to the tracks. Then I sat there, waiting for the train to come, to rattle through me and to take away the other noises. I waited for Scott to come home and calm me down, but he wasn't at home. I tried to climb over the fence. I wanted to sit on the other side for a while, where no one else goes. I cut my hand, so I went inside, and then Scott came back and asked me what happened. I said I was doing the washing, up and dropped a glass. He didn't believe me. He got very upset. I got up in the night, left Scott sleeping and sneaked down to the terrace. I dialed his number and listened to his voice when he picked up. At first soft with sleep, and then louder, wary, worried, exasperated. I hung up and waited to see if he'd call back. I hadn't disguised my number, so I thought he might. He didn't, so I called again, and again, and again. I got voicemail then, bland and businesslike, promising to call me back at his earliest convenience. I thought about calling the practice, bringing forward my next appointment, but I don't think even their automated system works in the middle of the night, so I went back to bed. I didn't sleep at all. I might go to Wally Wood this morning to take some photographs. It'll be misty and dark and atmospheric in there. I should be able to get some good stuff. I was thinking about maybe making little cards, seeing if I could sell them in the gift shop on Kingley Road. Scott keeps saying that I don't need to worry about working, that I should just rest. Like an invalid. The last thing I need is rest. I need to find something to fill my days. I know what's going to happen if I don't. Evening. Dr. Adbik Kamal, as I had been invited to call him, suggested in this afternoon session that I start keeping a diary. I almost said, I can't do that. I can't trust my husband not to read it. I didn't, because that would feel horribly disloyal to Scott. But it's true. I could never write down the things I actually feel or think or do. Case in point, when I came home this evening, my laptop was warm. He knows how to delete browser histories and whatever. He can cover his tracks perfectly well. But I know that I turned the computer off before I left. He's been reading my emails again. I don't really mind, there's nothing to read in there. A lot of spam emails from recruitment companies, and Jenny from Pilates asking me if I want to join her Thursday night supper club, where she and her friends take turns cooking each other dinner. I'd rather die. I don't mind because it reassures him that there's nothing going on, that I'm not up to anything. And that's good for me. It's good for us, even if it isn't true. And I can't really be angry with him because he has a good reason to be suspicious. I've given him cause in the past and probably will again. I'm not a model wife. I can't be. No matter how much I love him, it won't be enough. Saturday, the 13th of October 2012. Morning. I slept for 5 hours last night, which is longer than I have done in ages. And the weird thing is, I was so wired when I got home yesterday evening, I thought I'd be bouncing off the walls for hours. I told myself that I wouldn't do it again. Not after last time. But then I saw him, and I wanted him, and I thought, why not? I don't see why I should have to restrict myself. Lots of people don't. Men don't. I don't want to hurt anyone. But you have to be true to yourself, don't you? That's all I'm doing. Being true to my real self. The self nobody knows. Not Scott. Not Kamal. No one. After my Pilates class last night, I asked Tara if she wanted to go to the cinema with me one night next week. Then, if she'd cover for me. If he calls, can you just say I'm with you? That I'm in the loo and I'll bring him straight back? Then you call me, and I'll call him, and it's all cool. She smiled and shrugged and said, all right. She didn't even ask where I was going or who with. She really wants to be my friend. I met him at the Swan in Cawley. He'd got us a room. We have to be careful, we can't get caught. It would be bad for him, life-wrecking. It would be a disaster for me too. I don't even want to think about what Scott would do. He wanted to talk to me afterwards about what happened when I was young, living in Norwich. I'd hinted at it before, but last night he wanted the details. I told him things, but not the truth. I lied, made stuff up, told him all the sordid things he wanted to hear. It was fun. I don't feel bad about lying. I doubt whether he believed most of it anyway. I'm pretty sure he lies too. He lay on the bed, watching me as I got dressed. He said, "This can't happen again, Megan. You know it can't. We can't keep doing this." And he was right. I know we can't. We shouldn't. We ought not to. But we will. It won't be the last time. He won't say no to me. I was thinking about it on the way home, and that's the thing I like most about it. Having power over someone, that's the intoxicating thing. Evening. I'm in the kitchen, opening a bottle of wine, when Scott comes up behind me and puts his hands on my shoulders and squeezes and says, "How did it go? With the therapist?" I tell him it was fine and we're making progress. He's used now to not getting any details out of me. Then, "Did you have fun with Tara last night?" I can't tell because my back's to him, whether he's really asking or whether he suspects something. I can't detect anything in his voice. "She's really nice," I say. "You and she'd get on. We're going to the cinema next week, actually. Maybe I should bring her around for something to eat after?" "Am I not invited to the cinema?" he asks. "You're very welcome," I say, and I turn to him and kiss him on the mouth. "But she wants to see that thing with Sandra Bullock, so..." "Say no more. Bring her around for dinner afterwards, then," he says, his hands pressing gently on my lower back. I pour the wine and we go outside. We sit side by side on the edge of the patio, our toes on the grass. "Is she married?" he asks. "Tara? No. Single. No boyfriend." "Don't think so." "Girlfriend?" he asks, eyebrows raised, and I laugh. "How old is she then?" "I don't know," I say. "Around 40? "Oh. And she's all alone? That's a bit sad." I think she might be lonely." "They always go for you, the lonely ones, don't they? They make a beeline straight for you." "Do they?" "She doesn't have kids then?" he asks. And I don't know if I'm imagining it, but the second the subject of children comes up, I can hear an edge in his voice, and I can feel the argument coming, and I just don't want it. Can't deal with it. So I get to my feet, and I tell him to bring the wine glasses, because we're going to the bedroom. He follows me, and I take off my clothes as I'm going up the stairs. And when we get there, when he pushes me down on the bed, I'm not even thinking about him. But it doesn't matter, because he doesn't know that. I'm good enough to make him believe that it's all about him.